Yesterday I went to the Lego store and bought some pieces. We made these. My son made this cool thing. My older daughter made this nice little vehicle. And I made this. It's kind of a circular wheel tram. And it has like a lot of wheels. And all of that was able to fit into this canister. And the deal at Lego store is if you can fit everything in this canister, it can cost $16. And they had about 40 different types of bricks to choose from. So I chose the bricks that I wanted carefully and created this little wheel tram. And so what happens with this, I mean, I just kind of made it up out of the blue based on the materials that I had, but I was so impressed with it, and a couple of the people at the store were too. They were like, wow, that's pretty cool. How'd you come up with that idea? But it's just like a wheel car. Now this is 8 of these little cars put together, and using this really interesting PC, you could see how it turns into a U shape. Well, actually, I kind of modified this one to be a little bit different because I put these extra little lights there. Because I had extra pieces, and I said, once I was done fitting my 3 different vehicles in this case, I just started throwing a whole bunch of little pieces in there. And these are, you could turn it into a rainbow car too. But the key component is as long as they have wheels and these little pieces that come apart, they come in pieces, like 2 little separate pieces, and you have to find this ratcheting hinge and put it together, and you've got yourself a nice little car. Not all Lego stores are going to have the same pieces, so you just kind of have to improvise with whatever you see. They had these nice little levers, so each person gets a little lever in their little bench seat, and these are roll bars right here. I use these as roll bars, and we got little connectors here as well. And this one doesn't have those features. Let me see if I separate this. Right. Let's see. Oh, here. That's the locking point. If I open it all the way up using one hand, oopsies. So you just reattach it here. You get the idea. So it's like a little roller coaster train. Whee! And each person has their own. This is like touch screen. This is what Tiger Lily said. Oh, there's a little touch screen pad here and a display. And this guy, if they want to separate, you could hit a switch and they separate, and you got little 4 cars. So essentially for $16 I got, and a little bit of creativity, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cars, plus all of these spare pieces. Not all of them, but most of the spare pieces. Oh, like this waterfall. I got that there. And I got these in case I needed them. These little pieces. And a few extra wheels and roll bars. All for $16. It's a steal. What I did there is instead of just grabbing random pieces, which I see most kids doing, I actually build what I want first, then I break it into pieces and throw it into the container. You got to be sure that when you put it in the container, you don't put it in complete. You put it in as small pieces as you can so that you don't end up paying for air. Because if I just threw it all in like this, I broke it apart. If I put it in all like this, there's no way it would all fit in there, right? You try to fit that, figure out how that's going to fit in there. But when you take it apart, then you can fit everything in, including, especially since my son, he said, no, don't break it apart, Daddy, don't break it apart. I was going to break it apart, so his had to stay complete. My daughter, she's a little bit older, so she didn't care. She says, go ahead, break it apart, I'll fix it back when I get home. I was like, okay, cool. And all my pieces mostly were breaking apart. but not entirely a purchase, mostly. As long as there didn't feel like it was holding up too much air. But can you imagine all of that fit into a $16 container? I think I'm going to go there again and just keep making cool stuff and taking it home. Enjoy.